అప్పటి వరకు జీవితం సాఫీగా సాగిపోతోంది. మంచి కుటుంబంతో రోజులు ఆనందంగా గడుస్తున్నాయి. కానీ అనుకోకుండా జరిగిన పెద్ద ప్రమాదం ఆమెని వీల్ చైర్కు పరిమితం చేసింది. అంతటితో తన జీవితం అయిపోయింది అనుకున్నారామె. కానీ కుటుంబం, స్నేహితులు, అన్నిటికంటే ముఖ్యంగా ఆమె ఆత్మస్థైర్యం తన జీవితాన్ని చక్రాలతో నడిపించింది. ఒకటి కాదు, రెండు కాదు. ఆ యాక్సిడెంట్ జరిగి ఇప్పటికీ 40 ఏళ్ళు అవుతోంది. ఇప్పుడు ఆమె వయసు 60 ఏళ్ళు. కానీ అది కేవలం శరీరానికి మాత్రమేనని, మనసుకు, ఆత్మవిశ్వాసానికి కాదని నిరూపిస్తున్నారు హైదరాబాద్కు చెందిన స్వీటీ బగ్గా. వీల్ చైర్పై ఉంటే ఏంటి, నడిస్తే ఏంటి, జీవితం మన చేతుల్లోనే ఉంటుంది. అందరిలాగే తాము జీవిస్తామని నిరూపిస్తూ ఎంతో మందికి స్ఫూర్తిగా నిలుస్తున్నారామె. ఐఆమ్ పాసిబుల్ అనే స్వచ్ఛంద సంస్థను ఏర్పాటు చేసి తనలాగా వివిధ కారణాల చేత వీల్ చైర్కే పరిమితమైన వాళ్ళ కోసం పలు సేవా కార్యక్రమాలు చేస్తున్నారు. ఆర్థికంగా వెనుకబడిన వాళ్లకు వీల్ చైర్లను అందజేస్తున్నారు. అలాగే రకరకాల అవగాహన సదస్సులు, మారథాన్లు, స్పోర్ట్స్ ఈవెంట్స్ నిర్వహిస్తూ సమాజంలో తనకంటూ ప్రత్యేక స్థానాన్ని ఏర్పాటు చేసుకున్నారు స్వీటీ బగ్గా.
హలో, ఐఎమ్ బల్జీత్ కౌర్, better known as Sweety Bagga by my friends. I met with an accident almost 40 years before. In March, I will be completing 40 years. That is 4 decades. When I met with an accident, it changed my life significantly because I was a young bubbly girl just married with a little baby. I was very happy with my husband and we stayed in a joint family. But unfortunately, this accident spoiled my entire life. I turned into an SCI. SCI is spinal cord injury, in which your lower limbs are paralyzed. You don't have bowel and bladder sensation, power, etc. So it changed my life completely. I had to face lot of problems, but with complete family support, I came out of it. My family was very cooperative. Once I came out of it, there was no looking back. Because I faced very tough situation for about say 6 months to 1 year. I was into depression. That depression made me, I was sitting in the house all alone and crying and weeping, throwing tantrums. This was the worst situation, and I saw my mother, my husband, my family members, very sad faces. But when they would come in front of me, they would keep smiling. So I thought, when they can smile for my sake, I should do something to keep them happy. So I started pretending to be happy, and finally when that depression went away and I came out of it, I don't know, but that was a very tough period. Yes, the journey was very tough. It was a very tiring and long journey, but once out of it, there is no looking back. Now I am a national basketball player, I'm a sporty marathon runner, and I have done scuba diving, daring activities, sports activities like scuba diving, and that is going under the water, and I have done paramotoring as well, that is going into the sky. And then I learned swimming in the age of 55, proving that age is no bar if you have the will and determination to do so. So I can say, being on a wheelchair, I have conquered all the 3 worlds. I have gone up in the sky, I have been on the earth, and have been underwater by scuba diving. During the tough period when I started coming out of my house, people would stare at me as if I have come from some other world, as if I am an alien. In fact, somebody even told me, wheelchair पे बाहर निकलना ज़रूरी है क्या? घर में नहीं बैठ सकते हो? If I would listen to that person, what would have happened? I would be indoors. But no, I learned to face the society. I said, do you have any problem if I go out? Are you spending on me? Are you helping me? So the person kept quiet. After that, no one had the courage to ask me because I was bold enough, and this boldness came with the support of my family. There was no awareness at all. When I met with an accident, immediately for few days, even the doctors could not fathom what had happened. It is only after 3-4 days they told me that you have turned into a spinal cord injury person. So spinal cord injury person has to remain on wheels. When I asked the doctor, when can I walk? He said 6 months. I said, what? Do you expect me to be on a wheelchair for 6 months? Impossible. But see what is written in destiny. 6 months turn into 6 years, 16 years, 26 years, 36 years, and now I'll be completing 40 years. For 10 years, I was not giving rehabilitation. No one suggested me what to do. So it is with trial and error basis, I started going on a wheelchair, and see now we have the wheelchairs with detachable handles. You can remove the handle and transfer. Before we would have those hospital chairs with the handles were not detachable. So people had to lift me and put me on the wheelchair. So I had a very tough time. But in that tough time, my family supported me. And after 10 years, I came to know about Christian Medical College and Rehabilitation Institute of Vellore. After 10 years, in 83 I met with an accident, and in 93 first time I went there. In these 10 years I had done all type of pathies like allopathy, homeopathy, Ayurvedic, magnetotherapy. I went in villages and stayed for 40 days drinking oils and leaves and all those things. Those people told me that even if your bones are crushed, they can become all right. But this was the case of spinal cord injury, in which there was no damage on top of the spine. I had many injuries and wounds all over the body, but on the spine there was no injury. So no one knew about it. After few years, when I went to CMC, guidance of Dr. Suranjan Bhattacharji, I became completely independent. This was another feather in my cap. I started moving about more independently and freely. I started going out alone only with an attender, whereas before I needed some family member to be with me. Now with one single attender, entire world can come back, no issues at all. In Vellore, I met Vaidyanathan sir, who was working for the SCIs. He also was an SCI. He encouraged me and motivated me, and so we formed WhatsApp groups, and through WhatsApp groups we found number of people, starting with 5, now we are more than 200 people. Every state has a WhatsApp group. We are connected with each other. All the peer mentors, the senior SCIs are connected with every state. We guide each other and help each other. We see how we can help the other SCIs. I started helping people, guiding them, sending them for rehab. After going to CMC, Dr. Suranjan Bhattacharji and the social worker over there, Guru Nagarajan, with their help, I started helping people to go to CMC for training, for rehabilitation, and guiding them how to do, what to do. Then I realized there are so many people, unfortunate people, who don't have any family support. And you know, when you become a spinal cord injury, you are broken emotionally. Physically, though your spine is gone, emotionally you are broken. Financial crunches also come up. And so I saw so many people who could not face the situation. Their families just deserted them, thinking that their life is this way, so they just left them that way. So I kept myself in their places and thought, how would I feel if my family would have deserted me? So I decided to help such people and came to form up an NGO.
మన సమాజంలో వెన్నుముక సమస్య వల్ల వీల్చైర్కే పరిమితమైన వాళ్ళు ఎంతో మంది ఉంటారు. అలాంటి వాళ్ళు శారీరకంగా ఎంత వేదనకు గురవుతారో మానసికంగా అంతకు రెట్టింపు బాధపడుతుంటారు. ఒక్కసారిగా జీవితం శూన్యమైనట్లు భావిస్తారు. ఈ యాతన కంటే చావే శరణ్యమని అనుకుంటారు. స్వీటీ బగ్గా కూడా ఇలాంటి పరిస్థితులను మొదట కొన్నాళ్ళు ఎదుర్కొన్నారు. తర్వాత మానసికంగా దృఢంగా మారారు. అయితే ఆమె తన గురించి మాత్రమే ఆలోచించలేదు. సమాజంలో తనలాగా ఉన్న వాళ్ళ కోసం ఏదైనా చేయాలనుకున్నారు. అందుకే తన ఐఆమ్ పాసిబుల్ సంస్థ ద్వారా ప్రజల్లోకి వచ్చారు. వీల్చైర్లకి పరిమితమై కుంగిపోతున్న వాళ్లకు నేనున్నాను అంటూ భరోసా అందించారు. మానసికంగా వాళ్ళను దృఢంగా మార్చడానికి, వాళ్ళలో ఆనందాన్ని కలిగించడానికి ఎన్నో కార్యక్రమాలను ఇప్పటికీ కొనసాగిస్తున్నారు ఆమె. తన కుటుంబ సభ్యులు, స్నేహితుల తోడ్పాటుతో ఎంతో మందికి ఖరీదైన అడ్వాన్స్డ్ వీల్ చైర్లను అందజేస్తున్నారు.
I came up with the idea to form an NGO and started it by the name I Am Possible. It is from the slang impossible, proving that nothing is impossible in life. So I Am Possible comes from impossible. So I am possible in everything. So in I Am Possible, we conduct meets, rallies, road shows and small get-togethers. I used to go to people's houses, doing home visits, helping them how to guide them. Because people don't come out of their houses in such a situation. So I would visit them, go to their houses. Seeing me, they would get motivated. And when she can go, why can't I? So this inspired them and many of them became very strong. Our very first meet was held in 2015. So in that meet there were 20 SCIs from all over Andhra and Telangana. 20 SCIs in the first meet. So those people were also surprised that there are so many SCIs. Otherwise you think you are the only one in this world. You are the only one. Why did this happen only to me? But in a meeting, people would collect, see each other, get motivated and know, okay, there are so many people more. After that, ever since having meeting every year and small get-togethers in between. In 2020, during the COVID period, we couldn't have the meeting because of the obvious reasons of COVID. So at night, the thought struck me, why don't we donate some wheelchairs? We had been donating wheelchairs, but that was just as and when a person required. But in 2020, COVID period, when the thought struck me, in the morning, I called up to my brother and I told him, see, I want to donate wheelchairs and I want some funds. For this, I don't need 1100 and 2100 or 31 because normally we give this way only. So I told my brother, I want one wheelchair. He said, no sweetie, I'll give you two. I rang up to my another brother-in-law. He said 2 wheelchairs. I called up to my daughter. They said 3 wheelchairs. And my other brothers, everyone, 1, 2 wheelchairs. Everyone started with the chairs. So I kept the target of 20. But 10 to 12 wheelchairs were come from my home itself. And these wheelchairs are not ordinary wheelchairs. They are not the hospital wheelchairs with the big handles and you have to sit this way, you get neck pain and all that. These wheelchairs are detachable handles, detachable footrest and detachable tires. So that when you sit even in an auto, you can dismantle it and keep it very easily. I spoke to the company people in the lump sum, the wholesale price. So they started with 8,000 where it was 12,000 that time in 2020. So now the prices have come up to almost 15,000-16,000, but we are getting it for 12,000. The target from 20 shifted to 50. In 1 year, I was able to donate 85 wheelchairs. So I was so glad getting the blessings from the people that I decided to continue this journey. And this journey has been continuing since then, and we've done up to more than 250 wheelchairs. Again, now every year I ask for funds only once. I don't know how to ask funds. I don't have the habit of going. So once in a year I ask funds and I get the funds, and remaining people see in the videos, and we started posting in the social media. See, in the social media, people are coming forward to help themselves. So that is a great feat for me, and I'm very glad that God is helping me in this way.
స్వీటీ బగ్గా ఈ 40 ఏళ్లలో శారీరకంగా బాధపడ్డారేమో కానీ మానసికంగా ఎప్పుడూ సంతోషంగా ఉన్నారు. దానికి కారణం కేవలం తన కుటుంబమే అని గర్వంగా చెప్తున్నారామె. ముఖ్యంగా తన భర్త, పిల్లలు, తోడబుట్టిన చెల్లి మొదలైన కుటుంబ సభ్యులంతా ఆమెకు ఎప్పుడూ అండగా నిలుస్తున్నారు. ఏనాడు ఒంటరితనాన్ని ఆమె దరికి చేరనివ్వలేదు. అలాంటి కుటుంబం అందరికీ ఉంటే ఎంత పెద్ద సమస్య వచ్చినా ఎవరూ బాధపడరని స్వీటీ అంటున్నారు. ఇతరులకు మనం సాయం చేసినా చేయకపోయినా బాధలో ఉన్న వాళ్లకు మరింత అవమానాన్ని పరిచే పనులు మాత్రం చేయొద్దంటున్నారు ఆమె. అలాగే సాయంలో చిన్న పెద్ద అని తేడా ఉండదు. అందువల్ల ఎవరికి తోచిన వీలైనంత సాయం ఇతరులకు చేస్తేనే సంతోషకరమైన సమాజం ఏర్పడుతుందని అంటున్నారు స్వీటీ బగ్గా.
Yeah, when we had started the basketball team, I told my dad, in this age, can I play basketball? And even while swimming, I told Dad, I started swimming in the age of 55. So, can I do it? So, he used to say us from childhood, गिरते हैं शह सवार मैदाने जंग में, वो टिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटनों के बल चलते हैं. So, this inspired me, and I realized the meaning in this age. This my dad used to keep saying from childhood. She's my sister.
Hello, I'm Ravinder Kaur. I'm her sister. What should I say about her? She herself is instead very motivating. I encourage her and she encourages me. So with each other's support, we are helping few people. Which NGO she is running, I help her out in that. Thank you.
Okay, I want to say one more thing. मंजिल उन्हें मिलती है जिनके सपनों में जान होती है, पैरों से कुछ नहीं होता, हौसलों से उड़ान होती है.
యాక్సిడెంట్ అయినప్పుడు మై సిస్టర్ వాజ్ వెరీ డిప్రెస్డ్. చాలా ఫ్యామిలీ సపోర్ట్ ఉండే మాకు. నేను ఇది రిక్వెస్ట్ చేస్తా అందరికీ, ఎవరు మనిషి యాక్సిడెంట్ అయినా వాళ్ళ ఫ్యామిలీ సపోర్ట్ ఉంటే వాళ్ళకి చాలా హెల్ప్ ఉంటుంది. 50% is your problem and 50% is the family support. అది ఉంటే చాలా మంచిగా ఉంటుంది, చాలా సపోర్ట్ అవుతుంది. లైక్ వాళ్ళు డిప్రెషన్లో ఉన్న ఇంటి వాళ్ళు సపోర్ట్ చేస్తే చాలా మారల్ సపోర్ట్ ఉంటుంది, వాళ్ళకు కరేజ్ వస్తుంది.
And I came out of depression because of my entire family support. My family is my pillar of strength. My husband, my sister, my son. Without their support, could not have done anything. In fact, any SCI cannot do anything without their family support. And my motto was, and is still, the problems that I suffered being an SCI, lack of guidance, the trauma that I underwent, no SCI should undergo. I just remembered a tiny little story. When we were donating wheelchairs, somebody told me, if you donate a few wheelchairs, what difference is going to make? I said, see, I remembered a story. There was a child walking near an ocean and the waves were throwing out the starfishes outside. The boy was picking up the starfishes, putting them back in water. So a passerby came, looked at the boy and said, "Oh boy, what are you doing? How many starfish can you save? What difference is it going to make? How much difference is it going to make?" So the innocent boy replied, I may not be able to help all the starfish, but it will make difference to those 5 or 6 that I have thrown. So in the same thing I thought while donating the wheelchairs, I may not be able to help everyone, but how many I can help, I will be able to do that will help them. But with God's grace, we have done almost more than 250 wheelchairs now. So I'm happy for that. So with this, I would like to sign off by saying we physically challenged people. People look at us with sympathy. We don't need sympathy. We need empathy. We don't need help. We need ramps. We need accessible India. We need independence to move alone by ourselves. Thank you so much.